Today we're heading back to the Sunset Mine. We were here a couple weeks ago, but we only managed to explore that one collapsed section, find a few collapsed adits, and we think there's more to the mine up here. So this is the bunker site for the Sunset Mine. You can see the foundation's still there. Let me turn down the exposure a little bit. So the collapsed section that we found last time was up in that area, and we're looking for a second collapse that's going to be a little bit farther down the hillside there. We're also going to see if we can find any additional adits that we missed the last time we were here. This is what remains of adit number 2 for the Sunset Mine. This is a better view than we got last time, but yeah, it's completely caved. It looks like that goes back for quite a ways too, so my guess is that a good portion of this entire tunnel is caved. You can kind of see there the timbers. So we're back at the number 1 adit here, and we didn't go into this one last time because our valuation indicated that it wasn't stable. So we have a little bit more time today, so we're going to reevaluate that in greater detail just to make sure that this is something that isn't feasible. If it is feasible, we're going to see if we can get as far back there as possible to see what is back there, because this adit intercepts that upper collapse that we were at earlier, that big cave area. And so it would be interesting to see what that looked like from the bottom. So we're using this log to test the stability of that particular rock right there. We want to make sure that it's not going to come down on us when we're in there.
You can either stand up here and try to walk, like kind of step over this rock and get back on sort of the low area, but I kind of stood and thought about it, but it's like easier said than done, because if you do it, you're gonna have to like kind of support yourself by grabbing on the rocks.
Yeah.
Are gonna break.
Yeah, let's not do that.
The other way is to crawl underneath this rock.
Yeah,
Big YouTuber out here. This is an absolute madness. Water falling. And I dropped that rock with about 1 square millimeter worth of traction. And look over there. It's about there. So, oh fuck, I ran out of space.
You ran out of space?
I don't know.
This is like the best part.
It stopped recording.
That looks a little overexposed.
But the it's like glitchy. Let's come on through.
Oh man. So this is inside adit number 1 of the Sunset Mine.
Yep. This is it.
Alright, let's go check it out.
I can try to take point. I see something ahead that might be a glass, but it might be a partial one actually. It doesn't look like it fully blocks the tunnel. We can step over.
Whoa.
Oh my god. Oh my god, this is a winz.
Alright, be careful. So we're coming up on a winz here.
Oh fuck, this is it. Look, this is the stove.
Oh my god. Oh wow. Let me get this, I'm gonna get my camera around my neck here so I don't lose it over this cliff.
You should climb over there.
I will pass. Okay, so this is pretty incredible here. So that big collapse section we were at last time, we're actually coming across that right here. So it's a bit difficult to see, but you can kind of see the sky from there, and this goes down about 50 feet or so. So this is where the first crosscut intersects that major stope that they had dug.
And the photos, the ground will be like right below us, but like, oh, look
It's way down there.
yeah, shine it like way down there again, and then like let the light from the sun. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this entire section, they mined this out for the copper vein. You can see copper on the walls there. And you can look to our previous video and see the copper down in the floor. They found quite a bit in this area. You can see there, that location where it's dripping. See how it's eroded the timber?
Yeah.
Here's what we're gonna do. So we want to figure out the distance that this edge goes down to the ground. So what we're gonna do is we're going to toss a rock over the edge, a small rock, with 0 downward velocity. We're going to measure the time. We know that the acceleration is approximately 10 meters per second, so the velocity is 10 times the amount of time that's elapsed. If you integrate that, you can get the position, which is going to give us our distance, which was going to be x equals 10 times the amount of time squared over 2. So we're going to measure the amount of time, we're going to square it, divided by 2, multiply by 10, and that will give us the distance. So, alright, Colin, whenever you're ready.
Alright.
Alright, 2 seconds and 15 milliseconds. This is a 28 meter drop ahead of us. 28 meter drop, which is approximately 100 feet.
Yeah, and that's about the height of like a cedar tree or something, so.
Yeah, this is...
And you can easily fit that down there, so.
This is a good drop here.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go find that other stope. So here's the surface view of what we were just in. The first adit crosscuts right into there. So we were on the right hand side of that, and you can see the collapse runs this entire little canyon here. This is all from the first level going down. It only really opened up here towards the end. So we believe that there are additional stopes that are open up that way, so we're going to go looking for them. One of them is supposed to have a building inside of it. We've been consulting our resources, and I think we were a little bit mixed up on the location exactly of where we were. We had been thinking this entire time that the portal we just went into, that one that was mostly caved, was adit number 1. But when we looked into it further, it looks like that is actually adit number 3. Adit number 3 is marked as caved, and I haven't been able to find any documentation on it, so we might have been the first people in there in a long time. But that means that adit number 1, which is marked as open, is still somewhere around here. So we're going to continue looking for it.
Alright, who's going down there?
So this would be the caved stope to adit number 1. So this is about where we expected it to be. So I think I think our conclusion is justified that we were at adit number 3 just a few minutes ago, which means that there's a portal somewhere in this area that's open. So we're gonna look for that after we check this out.
Yeah, so it's kind of wet and
You up for a shower? It's a little bit hard to tell, but you can see there's some gold kind of tint to this rock here. This is pyrite, so fool's gold. We collected this ore sample here at the stope number 1 collapse. According to the map, that cave-in right there goes to the level 1 adit. As you can see, there's quite a bit of collapse that had to happen there. Overhanging rock. You can see right there, there's some copper in the walls.
big streaks of copper in them. Like this one. You see this? How it's literally like it's like marble. It has a marbling of copper in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This looks like a
steak. See the flashlight?
This is like a steak with copper.
Yeah, that looks a little unstable down there. So we're just going to observe from this angle. But look at that wall right there. There is so much copper on that wall. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I didn't really look at that closely, but that is a lot.
Yeah, so that would be caved down to the first level.
Wait. Oh, the level 1 adit is supposed to come out at the bottom, so it's not somewhere in the middle of the wall, right?
Yeah, there's nothing in the middle of the wall.
Okay, because I was just seeing if like that might have been anything.
Doesn't look like it. So we've been using this flashlight for a while now, and there's a wire that keeps hitting against this fan, and I'm sure you've heard in the video that there's this kind of rattling sound whenever you use this, so we're just taking a moment to fix it. We are now on our way to locate the real number 1 adit. So we're coming from the collapse section there. We think it's just going to be a little ways down the hill according to the map of the tunnels. So we're going off that. We'll see what we find. This looks to be the portal we were looking for to adit number 1.
Sure.
Yeah, you can see that you can get in there. So that's the portal to adit number 1. So we're here at the number 1 adit for the Sunset Mine. So we originally thought that we were at the number 1 adit way back there, but that turned out to be the number 3 adit. This one isn't quite as sketchy as that one. It still has quite a bit of collapse, but nothing like adit number 3. So we're gonna go in here and see what we find. This connects to the stope collapse that we were at just a minute ago. Yeah, there's some 22 ammunition there. Little collapse section here. Oh.
Look how big this stove is. It's a camera.
It's like we have a collapse here. Wow. We are directly underneath where we just were, that caved stope. You could tell based on the collapse patterns. The collapse shuts that tunnel off there and shuts that tunnel off here. According to the map that we've been using, there's a small section between these two collapse sections that's open, which is where we're currently at. So directly above us was where we were standing, probably a couple hundred feet. Yeah, there's a ladder that goes up. My flashlight is out of battery. You see there's a tunnel there. I can't really tell. It looks collapsed. Yeah, it looks like marble or quartz of some kind. Pyrite.
Whoa.
That's quite a bit of iron on this rock.
Look at this.
Yeah, so it's a little hard to see, but this is a really good example of pyrite. Yeah, so flashlight ran out of battery, but this, if you could see that, that's the collapse. One of the main collapses for this tunnel. That tunnel doesn't continue very far past that collapse, but it does go to a wind of unknown depth. But that's completely sealed off. There's no way to get through that. Let's go check out that other section.
This part?
Yeah.
Can you see what this is sitting on? This is like King and Kenny style support. So, limit our activities here, but yeah, that's like a plug shaft.
Yeah. Shine your light more directly up there. Yeah, so that's a shaft that's been plugged with rock. That probably goes where that other shaft that we were just at goes. All this timbering, this might have been for that structure that they were talking about. This tunnel doesn't go any further. It just, it's all collapsed back there. So this is pretty much it for the Sunset Mine. We explored what's left, but everything else is either flooded or collapsed. So as you can tell from the sites we visited, they really had issues with stability in this mine. But this will probably be the last trip we do to the Sunset Mine, unless we discover there's something that we missed. So we're going to be headed towards Monte Cristo in the future. We might be finishing up a few mines in the Miller River area in the meantime.
store though.